Hello everyone, it's Ian from Cromford Collector's Corner. I'm here today, stay there, to tell you a little bit of a catch-up on this week at Cromford Collector's Corner. So things to talk about are this week's Doctor Who, something that I've read recently. So obviously with Doctor Who, we've just seen Boom be transmitted, or was on Saturday or Friday if you're watching Disney, or staying up late to watch it. So obviously it was Stephen Moffat's return to writing Doctor Who. I thought it was cool. I quite enjoyed it. I liked the vibe between the Doctor and the Companion. I thought it was kind of cool. I was interested to see a couple of references to the Matt Smith era, the Anglican kind of soldiers that were seen in can't remember the name of the story, the Weeping Angels one with Matt Smith and River Song. And also a nice fish fingers and custard reference, which everyone wants to see that, right? But yeah, I thought it was okay. I thought, again, the sort of grander arc of this season, again, we had references to the Doctor's family. The whole dad to dad thing I thought was quite interesting. I don't know if there's potential for us to look deeper into the Doctor's family. Not something we've ever really talked about in the show. So yeah, I wait with bated breath and a degree of trepidation as to where this is going. But I enjoyed it, and yeah, bring it on. I'm looking forward to the next episode. Super cool. So the other thing I was going to talk to you about is, you would think, wouldn't you, running a small comic shop, that I would just read comics and stuff like all the time. But the truth is, I don't get a huge amount of time, so I have to be quite selective about the things that I read. So at the moment, I'm in a bit of a push to try and read more trade paperbacks and graphic novels that I've got, because I have a lot in stock as it stands. Behind you now is an enormous wall of graphic novels. I do tend to try and read things that I'm less familiar with. While I'm not, an expert on anything, I sort of do know a little bit about quite a lot of different things. Geeky-wise, that is. Useless on everything else. So I try and read, I've read a bit of manga recently, or more independent produced stuff. I quite like horror. So I do tend to read that kind of thing. But this week I've taken a bit of time to sit and read some modern Marvel comics. In fact, what I've read, and this is a great recommendation for picking up stuff to read affordably that's good. This is the Avengers Age of Ultron trade paperback. You should be able to pick this up for sort of less than a tenner, really, in pretty decent condition. And you'll know Age of Ultron, of course, because of the Avengers movie, the MCU, which is titled the same thing. So obviously, I'm very familiar with the movie, which I liked. It's probably not the best of the Avengers movies, but it has some great moments. The cat almost picking up Thor's hammer. Love that. So there's some great moments in it. It is, however, very, very different to the Age of Ultron storyline that ran in 2013 in Marvel Comics. So the trade paperback itself contains the core series, which was a 10-issue run. There were other tie-ins to this, which I've not read knowingly, possibly, but this is the first time I've sort of sat and read the complete core series of Age of Ultron. It is completely different, and to be honest, I enjoyed this a lot more than I did the movie. This is pretty hardcore. It sort of starts off, and without spoiling it for you, it starts off pretty much Ultron has already won, the world has kind of been decimated. All the heroes, or the surviving ones, are sort of hiding out. It has got quite a high kill rate. Some of the major Marvel characters get killed in this and come back. So it was written by Brian Michael Bendis, with art mainly by Brian Hitch. There are other artists that contributed to this, but it's mainly Brian Hitch. And it's got a lot of the main Marvel characters in it. You've got the Avengers, you've got Invisible Woman, you've got Wolverine, and there's quite a lot of you know, well-known characters in it, Hawkeye and Luke Cage and a lot of these characters, and they all kind of play their part. But what's sort of interesting to me reading this now is just how badly missed the character of Wolverine is in the MCU. And obviously, hopefully, we're going to see the X-Men come into the MCU. But Wolverine is particularly important in this. So is Invisible Woman, who plays a wicked part in this. But Wolverine is really important, mainly because he's the only character that is prepared to do the nasty stuff. So in this, again, without spoiling it too much for you, you will be aware, of course, in the comics, it's Hank Pym, creator of the Pym particles, and Ant-Man, and the various iterations of Hank Pym, that creates Ultron, whereas in the movies it's Tony Stark. But it's Hank Pym back in the day, in the 50s, I think is the illusion. So Wolverine is the only person that is basically prepared to do something about the creation of Ultron. And the storyline has similarities to Days of Future Past. So there is quite a bit of kind of time travel, timey-wiminess in this. And they go back in time to try and do something about the creation of Ultron. Yeah, it's really cool. It's quite violent. It's a little bit of bloodiness. But I really, really enjoyed this. Some of the artwork is fantastic. So there are some beautiful, like, double-page spreads of, like, cities decimated and, like, all of the Ultron bots kind of going everywhere. And yeah, this is wicked. So I thoroughly recommend picking this up for not a lot of money, if you actually want to read some quality modern age Marvel comics. So I thoroughly recommend that. The other thing I'm just going to mention is, so this week in the shop, I picked up quite a lot of Star Wars stuff, quite a lot of Kenner and that sort of thing. I'm not sure when you're going to be seeing this video. I may have sold all of this by the time you see this, but there's quite a lot of Star Wars stuff. And I've also picked up quite a nice collection of Silver Age comics, a couple of which things in there I've never read or never even seen before. So in this instance, I'm going to show you this. This is my job for this afternoon. It's a tough life. I'm going to sit and read this and possibly comment on it. This is House of Secrets number 48. And this was published in 1961. The cover is by Dick Dillon and Sheldon Moldoff. And the internal artwork, inks and lettering are all by Alex Toth. That looks so cool, right? I mean, it's a lovely copy from 1961. DC. Really cool. That's my little job for this afternoon, is to sit and read that. Obviously, I am open at the shop, so feel free to ask me anything. I am just a one-man comic shop in a semi-rural location. So yeah, if there's anything I can do for you, please do let me know. You can find me on social media, Cromford Collector's Corner. Google Cromford Comic Shop, you'll find me. And yeah, that'd be really cool. So thank you so much, everyone, for watching. And if you want to like and subscribe and all that stuff, that really helps me out. And yeah, wicked. I really appreciate it. You all take care, okay? See you later. Bye.